to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I've wanted to have you for a while. You do a lot of cool stuff in town, and tell our viewers a little bit about what you do.
So I've been in real estate sales for over 22 years. What am I supposed to?
Wow, 22 years? That's a long time.
Yeah, over 22 years. Sold over 2,000 homes in about 18 years, and then I went through a separation, took about a 3-year gap, and started investing, and been investing in coaching and still selling. So everything real estate related, self-development.
And all real estate, residential?
Yeah, commercial, residential, raising capital, buying multi-doors, multi-units. Just trying to grow.
And you do every asset of real estate, all of it?
Yeah, my specialty was residential, but I've been starting to do more businesses and commercial and investing, raising capital. Raised over a couple $1 million so far, actually about 3. So I've been raising money, buying properties, and just doing anything real estate related that I can be creative with. I'm very passionate about growth and real estate, so I kind of just put them together. And teaching, I love giving back because I wish I had a better mentor going through all this.
So do you coach a lot of people on how to sell a house, how to buy a house,
that's basically
how to take a loan?
Yeah, how to get a loan, how to buy homes without cash, subject to financing, creative financing. And but yeah, for about 18 years, my main thing was I got into new home sales. So I started selling with a small company for 6 months, and then somebody suggested that I get into new home sales because nobody really wants to coach you and teach you because you're kind of everybody's competition.
Right, I know.
Yeah, it is a very sharky world out there, and I wasn't like that. I just kind of focused. I started becoming like that more now, realizing that you kind of have to protect yourself after going through some battles. But I was just so serving people, helping. Even when I learned something, I try to teach people. So I ended up getting into new home sales. I did that for 9 years, Syntex Homes, DR Horton. And then I went back into resale because I wanted freedom. The best thing, my main focus is getting freedom, money, freedom. Now politics, we're talking about that for a minute. But really, I think it all comes down to just trying to be free. So I just focused on money, and then kind of led me to where I am now, which is investing, teaching. I just started a university online, teaching people how to either get your real estate license, sell 100 homes in a year, invest money, and many more things as far as real estate.
How do you teach people how to sell 100 homes in a year? That is wild.
I did it twice. I sold 70 homes in 2020 in 7 months, and then I sold 150 in 2018. But my average was selling about 50 to 60 homes a year. So because of new home sales, you're selling a lot more because they're bringing you the deals. So then when I got into resale, the average agent sells about 3 to 4 homes a year on average. So good ones are selling 10, 20, 30 maybe. But once you're good at closing and selling and following through, then you can spend money on marketing, and that's what it all really comes down to.
See, when it gets oversaturated, I feel like that's when the most oversaturated is realtors. You're trying to get more realtors to become realtors?
I'm trying to teach people to be better. So the real estate, was it 77% of agents dropped out? It's getting it's a lot of turnover because, in my opinion, people don't commit and grow to the best of their ability. So it's just a lot of when the market's good, people are getting in. When the market's bad, they're getting out. So I'm trying to train agents to become the best because I feel like the first 7 years of resale, I wasn't doing my clients the best because I didn't know what I didn't know. So as I sold more homes and started to spend a lot more money and selling 30, 40 in a month, I realized there was a lot of things I could have been doing better. So I'm trying to teach agents that are already in it, trying to get better, but also teach people how to get free using real estate. So yeah, all of it.
What are a lot of people doing wrong, and why are they dropping out? What's one of the number one things you see that they're doing wrong, besides not sticking with it?
Commitment. So commitment, I would say the second thing is getting a coach, to be honest, because
everyone needs a mentor, basically.
Everybody, that's probably the biggest, and it's hard.
Right,
I didn't get a mentor. I basically was given a mentor when I got a job because I got coaching, I got training, I got a manager, and they taught me everything I needed to know, and I did what they told me, and it was pretty easy. And I really believe that's the biggest thing with real estate, but most broker offices are not incentivized to teach you to level up.
Why is that?
Because so if you're a new agent, you come into a real estate company, The smaller companies will give you more commission, 80, 90%. The bigger companies have better training, will give you 50% your first deal.
Oh, so people want to make that more money, and then you have to kind of take
so
that
the better
cut.
you get less. So let's say you come in brand new to I start off at Guarantee Real Estate for resale. They have the best training, best real estate company, 450 agents. So I started off there, and then as I started selling more homes, I started getting more money. So you tapped out about 90% commission once you make $200,000 a year. So
just start making a little less money in the beginning. Don't get greedy.
No, that's the thing. The more you grow, the faster you change and develop and move around. So brokers are incentivized to keep you average, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because if you sell 5 homes your first year, then you're at 50. The next year you sell 8. Well, now you might go up to 60, and then the next year you do more, you go up to 90. So if they told you all the secrets and exactly how, which in a way they do teach you things, but I don't think. One thing I'll tell you is most managers and most coaches have never sold 20 or 30 homes in 1 year. So they can only teach you as far as they go.
Right.
So I think even Tom Ferry, I'm kind of curious how many homes he sold. He started off, I don't know if you know who Tom Ferry is.
I've heard of the name.
He's supposed to be the #1 real estate coach. I was mentored by him a little bit and somebody that was coached by him. But he sold homes when he was 19. He got into it with his family, and I was 19 when I started. But now I'm kind of curious how many he sold because he's been the #1 coach. But I think you can't coach to the best level if you haven't sold to the best level. If that makes sense. So I'm kind of curious. I've kind of been Googling it, searching, trying to find something to tell me. But
and he doesn't list those stats. I'm surprised he wouldn't list those stats. If they were impressive stats, he'd list them, right?
So so 2018 when I sold the 150 homes, I had like 4 or 5 brand new agents I started teaching that year. And as I'm selling, they came to me and I started teaching them. I spent more money on marketing, and everybody made like $100,000 their first year. So I'm a very giving person. I like to teach, but from going through that, I learned a lot of things. I learned why brokers do what they do. I learned why Tom Ferry is doing what he's doing. But as far as, I never realized, to be honest, I never realized how impressive it was I was selling. I was just so focused on like just becoming the best. Once I took 2 years off, I looked back. I had gotten awards I didn't even know about, to be honest, in the mail, like top 100 agent in California.
Wow.
And now I started talking more about that. Like I sold 2,000 homes in under 18 years. That's kind of my whole pitch because everybody knows an agent. Everybody, and I tell people, I know you probably know 2-3 agents. So everybody picks an agent based off their personality, and I like them, they're comfortable. And then when I talk to them more, I'll find out all these mistakes I made, but they don't even know that they're making them. So that's my passion, is just, again, teach people to be better. And I think with AI coming along, it's going to be interesting, you know. You already have home builders getting rid of agents for the last like 2-3 years, where you go on the, I don't know if you've ever been in a new home, but you go click on the door, so you don't need an agent, and they're basically just answering, doing contracts, or pretty soon they're not going to be doing, they went from doing everything, because I did it for 9 years, and now they're basically, it's really hard to get a hold of them, and they're basically just going through a little bit, and then someone else does a contract, you know, someone else is showing the computer, you know, you're walking in doing it yourself. So it's going to be interesting in the next 5 years. What do you think about AI in the next 5 years? I
mean, it's interesting. I think there's going to be some ways where it's really helpful, and then some ways where it's not. Everyone always has the same thing. It's not fun not talking to a person. Everyone wants to talk to a person at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's what everybody says. So this is probably, you're in the right business. You know what I mean? It's like everybody says that's what they want, but I mean, sometimes it's helpful not to be able to have something like AI, but then sometimes it's not. And it's good to have options. And I guess when you can't have that option, it's going to be really, people still want this option. I can't see a day where people don't want that option to be able to talk to somebody. So I think the AI, the AI section is where we already have it basically. Super AI is where they basically are thinking for themselves and doing things, and that's the scary part. Yeah, that's where we're not. I don't think anyone wants that. Nobody wants that part. Yeah, but everybody does like to have immediate questions answered. That part. So it's like part of it. Yeah. My best friend. Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you, part of your teaching, is it about working hard, smart and not hard? Because when I was in LA and I went through realtors, I mean, I couldn't believe, I had this realtor that literally would show me houses Sundays, 8 p.m., like at the weirdest hours. And I just thought about like, wow, this man works so hard. I can't believe like he works this hard. And so it's like, are people still doing that? Is it necessary to do that? Or can you be like, hey, no, these are my hours and this is it? So at the beginning,
you definitely got 24/7. At the beginning, when I think any
There's no way
business you
around
build.
it. Yeah.
I didn't realize selling real estate was building a business. It's really and I never wanted to do that, but I realized that the more time I had off the last few years, I've been learning more business and real estate. Basically, you're self-employed. So you can do whatever you want. But if you want to be the best agent, now eventually if you have the right coach, because I've had a couple coaches and I don't think any of them did has ever done what I did, so they couldn't, honestly, I feel like they gave me some good advice, but they couldn't guide me in the right direction as to what I should have did. When I look back, 2018, how I was doing things, there was a couple things I could have did differently, and it would have just exploded everything. But I had, sometimes when you're doing something really good, you get bored, so you start going other. So I bought 8 homes in 3 months. I was training agents. I did all that in the same year, and I got over leveraged.
So you should have paced yourself better, like that.
So those are if I had a coach that's done something a lot similar, like I was going to. But I think for me and most people, our egos keep us from, we think we know everything. Like we're just like, oh, I'll figure it out. I'm stubborn, So for me, about 35 years old, 7 years ago, I started reaching out. I get coached every day now. I have about 10 coaches that I work with. So
that's awesome.
I realize when you read one book or read an hour a day, it's like an 8-hour work day in your profession. So about 5 years ago, I read about 4 hours a day, reading books, YouTube, like as far as like sales training, business, because the more you learn. So to answer your question, you can set it up however you want. When I was selling 150 homes, I had 4 or 5 people. What I should have done is I should have had 1 or 2 people, and I should have been done doing all the opening and closing and let them show homes, which is what I did later. So that's the beautiful thing about real estate is you can do it however you want. You can get, but it comes down to sometimes you got to do whatever you have to do to make it. So if you're showing homes at 8, 9 o'clock, whenever, when I started over selling real estate in 2023 after rates went up, because I bought 7 homes in Missouri, rates went up, I over leveraged. I spent $1.2 million in 7 days. I'm a little excessive. So these are things I'm learning as I go along. But these are things I can save people from when I teach them, right?
Right.
So that's the reason why I really enjoy it. I wish somebody would have held my hand, but hey, how much you should sell 100 homes and this and that, or maybe start off at 20, 30. Because a lot of people don't believe that you can do it. But it really isn't hard. It's just a matter of having the right blueprint and having somebody that'll believe in you before you believe in yourself. I think that's the biggest thing.
So your coaching, is it one-on-one? Is it like a class that people go? And it's both on being a realtor and doing real estate investing? Or there's two different, you either sign up for one or the other?
Yeah, I do it. So the university I'm putting together right now, I put it together about 2 years ago, but I've been perfecting it. It's going to teach everything. There's going to be classes for certain things with me teaching everything, things that I've actually gone through and done.
And can I just be a buyer and take a buyer's class?
Yes.
And because I think a lot of people, that's the class that, everyone's going to be interested in that's watching this.
Yeah, what I realized when I told you I started over 3 years ago, I took all my old leads, I started cold calling them, and I started building it again. And what I learned is that, especially this market, rates are higher, it's a lot more challenging. The number one challenge for people is the fear of buying, because investors they've been buying up the last 2 years, but normal people that can buy that need to are
it's hard
to
figure out.
But it's the best time.
Right.
It's not going to get easier. You just look at numbers as far as how much of a home shortage we have, rates, payments, how everything's, I can share more, but so.
Are you the only one that's coaching in this university that you put together? You have a few coaches that are working.
Right now it's me, but I'm probably going to start bringing in other people for life insurance, which is called Index Universal Fund. You can put money into a fund and borrow against it and protect it. So I have people I'm going to start putting. So my goal is to make this a pretty big university, but affordable for anybody, because I've always been not particularly fond of school because it was just too slow for me. And it just didn't make sense. Like, why am I going to learn all this stuff I don't need to know right now? So I'm creating this for people like me that are young. Unfortunately, once you hit 35 years old, if you're not on a progressive, like trying to self-develop yourself, you're pretty much stuck. 5% of people change after 35. So I'm trying to focus on the youth and younger. Anybody, really. Honestly, I open up to anybody, but people are so stubborn after 35. So unless you've been devoting yourself, listening to people, learning, bro, like Marshall, I want to do this. Like, anybody can do it. You just got to be coachable.
So right now you're doing like these online classes, and so it is one-on-one, or some are one-on-one, or some are like a lot of people are like participating at once. How does it work?
So there's going to be there's a platform where people can communicate with each other, but then there's also the classrooms where you can go in and you can say, hey, I want to learn how to buy homes creatively, which is what I did. It's there's a few different ways of doing it. One of them is subject to financing. So I'll tell you a fun little story. About 6 months ago, I talked to a lady. She had sold her home. She short sold it because they bought it a year ago, broke up with the boyfriend, and the agent that she worked with basically sold it for $30,000 less than she paid for. So she had to short sell it, which messes up your credit. If you don't know what that is, selling less.
Yeah.
So this agent could have said, hey, I'll take over your home and give you a couple thousand to move out. And she could have acquired that $30,000 and helped her credit. Because when I talked to her, she wanted to buy a home, and now she had a short selling record. So the more you know, so I consider myself a real estate guru. I just try to learn everything about it. If I'm going to do something, I want to become the best at it. And now I want to set this up to where it's easier. So if you want to learn about home buying, you can go in here, and I try to sum it up the shortest, quickest, easiest way for you. And after doing
that's the way we all want to learn things.
And 100%, right? Thank you. So that's why I set this up, because I have so many clients I work with, and sometimes it takes them 5 years to buy a home because fear.
And we don't want to be that. Nobody wants to spend that much time. It's like
that's $150,000 she lost minimum.
That right?
So, have you bought a home yet? Sorry, can I ask you?
You are so funny. I would be down to take one of these.
We'll talk later.
One of these classes. No, just because I am fascinated by everything, and it's always changing. And then people are always like, "Is this the right time, bad time, whatever?"
And that's what people do. They talk to each other. Like, so in 2008, during COVID, 2020, I have like a few memories I have stories I tell. So 2020, I had like 10 escrows in, and March hit, and that's when COVID hit. And I think half my clients canceled, and I try to say, like I was trying to explain to them, they all ended up buying again. Half them canceled, but one of them, he bought his first home, $180,000, Hispanic family, like just working hard. And I tried to tell him, because he wanted to cancel. My friends, everybody at work's telling me the market's going to go down. I go, look, I'll buy your home back from you. And that's what it took me. Like he didn't, so I told him, I'll buy it from you if it goes down. And I wrote a contract.
Really?
Yeah, because I knew it wasn't going to go down, and if it did, I'd take it over from him. So, because he was afraid of like the '08 crash, and it didn't happen, and now
that's pretty interesting. Wow, you're something else.
I'm committed to my client's success, my success, and so he ended up buying his neighbor's house. So he's on house number 2, and he calls me. So that's once you build those memories and you really help you. The hardest challenge, I have a lot of. This last 2 years, I probably had the hardest clients in my whole life.
Why?
Because. Thanks. I love it. Honestly, my opinion is because ever since COVID happened, the fear factor, like everybody's just so scared. That's because it's not easy. Like before, properties were going up, rates were lower. Rates are still low today because the national average interest rate throughout history is 9.2%. So people think 6 and 7 are high. But what they don't realize, if someone has equity in their homes, if you know anybody that has like 200, 300, 400, people that bought 10, 15 years ago have all this equity and they feel so safe. But when interest rates go up, your value will go down. So
right.
So
that part I know.
That's how the government is able to control everything, is because they print money or they give out grants and all this stuff, and then they just raise rates and then they take money from you. So if you pull your money out of your house and you go buy more, you're always going to win, because assets you can depreciate, and there's all this is not to get all boring.
No, but this is some stuff that you teach at so what's the university? This is the Marshal University.
This is what I teach. Yeah, Relentless University. Because I want to keep it open for multiple things, and that was the reason. So real estate is the main expertise that I had. I
think this is awesome. Okay, so people that are watching that are interested in this, what do we do?
So you're going to go to my YouTube channel, which is Marshal Strang, 1L, an O, and there's a link on the bottom, and Relentless University. There's a link right underneath my YouTube channel, and you can go check it out there. So I've been doing YouTube for about 2.5 years, teaching all this every day, because this is my passion.
Super awesome. Okay.
So if you guys want more information, you can check that out. And so I sold 2,000 homes, bought 38 doors in a 3-year period, and right now my goal is to get up to 1,000 doors, just because it's the only way you grow is by adding more on your plate and learning. So the more I teach people, and honestly, I get energy from helping people, And it kind of frustrates me sometimes because most people don't want to help themselves. They're stuck in their comfort zone.
Yes.
And I mean, I've seen you at the gym. I know you're working out, so you're growing. And I think that's the number one thing people could do is focus on their health. It's like the number one thing. Health, wealth, everything else.
It's all connected, right?
Yeah, it's everything. So
how do we all follow you? What are all your platforms, all the socials?
So I'm on Facebook. I'm Marshal Strang with an A. And then I'm on YouTube, Instagram, same thing. And eventually I'll have the website. Right now we're just going through a platform I built. So
we all like to follow social media anyway.
Yeah, I think that's probably the big. They say you're the average of your 5 people you spend the most time with. So I think I'm going to start a new quote. You're the average of the 10 people you follow on YouTube, because I think you should be because people that you're close to, that you're around locally. I don't think. If you're trying to be extraordinary, you probably got to go a little bit further to find the right people, in my opinion.
Very true.
So I'm connected with people like Alex Armozy, Sebastian Ingus, Andrew Tate. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
There's about 10 people that I truly follow and just learn from, because you can tell they've been doing big things. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I like what I see on your social, so everyone's got to follow you, and it's just a few things. You're naming all across the board.
Next time we're on, you're going to be buying a house. Maybe we'll do a whole demonstration of how you get in your house.
You're going to be relentless to me. That's right. Part of your relentless training.
Never ends. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Welcome back, David.
It's always great to join you.
I think this is the first time you've come being like the assemblyman, because you were always running for something or signing something when you come.
Well, it's just mainly because, 4 days out of the week, we have to be in Sacramento. So I'm there from Sunday to pretty much Thursday. But what's a little bit different is I don't always get to come back home to Fresno County because I represent 7 counties. So that's Fresno County, Madera County, Mariposa, Tuolumne, Calaveras, Mono, and Inyo. And I really did spend a lot of campaign time here in Fresno since it's the majority of the population.
And you live here, right?
And I do. I live in Clovis.
Okay.
So I wanted to really spend a lot of the time while I was first in office. I know a lot of the issues here in Fresno County, learning about some of the smaller counties in my district, making sure that I'm prioritizing them as well.
That's actually, that's good that you do that. You know, you want to know everything you represent really well, really thoroughly. And so much has happened since you've been here. What do you want to talk about first? The bill that you have, the accountability high-speed railroad. Tell us about that.
I think we should always talk about Prop 50 first.
Let's talk about Prop 50.
Since it's the most important right now.
There's so much to talk about. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Prop 50. What's going on with Prop 50?
So I know a lot of people are confused. What they will know is they're about to get a ballot pretty much next week, next Tuesday through Thursday. Pretty much it's going to hit them October 6th. And once that hits their ballot, it's going to be a one-issue item. And really what it is that this is Governor Newsom's attempt and the state legislature to dismantle the Independent Redistricting Commission here in California and put their partisan maps. I'm one of the only electeds that has seen it in every single one of the committees. And they admit to us that this is partisan gerrymandering. And we're seeing all these commercials when it comes to the whole, Texas and all of this other stuff. But the big thing that we've got to really focus on is that here in California, we have the highest home cost, we have the highest unaffordability, we have the highest utility cost, and we have highest crime rates, highest poverty in the nation. And the people who helped put us there, the policymakers in place, are saying, send us to Washington and we'll give you some more of that. And I don't think that that's right. I don't think that they can move this entire proposition through 4 days for partisan gain for them, and yet they couldn't even take on this entire year the cost of living, unaffordability, the wildfire issue in our district, in my district that I think about often, that has really put us in a detrimental situation. I mean, on January 7th, probably I've only been on the job for about a month, but we'd only been in the Capitol for about 4 days. We had the largest economic disaster in the state's history with the LA wildfires. They moved faster to get this on the ballot than they have to help people rebuild in the Palisades and Altadena. And I think that's really bothersome, and why I'm advocating for a lot of people to vote no. Do not reward the people who put you in this position, regardless of what any other state is doing, regardless of what everybody else is doing. We've got to worry about California issues.
What's the worst that can happen if this goes through?
We get, again, the same people who put us in this position now get to dictate here in the federal government. And the way I look at it as well, truly, if you're looking at the average home price around $825,000 in the nation, crime rates, those same issues were under the Biden administration just 10 months ago. Now we look at the current administration today, and we have $825,000 is the average home price, and we have unaffordability in this state. What is the common denominator there? Because it's not the federal government. The common denominators are the state electeds here, and they admitted that this was for their gain, regardless of what it does to the people here. The Department of Finance has admitted to me that we have a structural deficit of $10 to $30 billion here in the state of California.
That's wild.
And in 4 days, they allocated $250 million to an election that nobody asked for. When, again, I talked to the people that I represent, nobody said, yeah, I want you to redistrict the state of California. That's my number one issue. They haven't stated that, but for the electeds in place, the leadership in California, it's worth it for them, but it's not worth it for the people of California, and that bothers me.
That's very true. And so why are people, and they're trying to say yes, and I know I've seen a lot of the BS commercials, and they're just trying to say this is all a Trump thing, like don't do it. Why is this being so manipulated? And we're not even sure if we're supposed to vote yes or no. You have to really know that we're supposed to, what we're supposed to vote. Why are they doing it that way? Why are they pitching it that way?
And that's what I would ask everybody when they're reading the ballot title and they're reading the statements. If they truly believe that this was the right thing to do, why are they lying everywhere they go? On the fiscal impact report, instead of giving us a flat number, which is probably around 250 to about 310 million, somewhere in that range, why not say that, but instead it says a few $1 million will be spent by the counties across California? That's not a fiscal impact report. That's just a sentence that you just gave me. Why does it say temporarily pause the maps in response to Texas when on the day we voted on this piece of legislation, they threw in an amendment that none of us got to see, and it removed the trigger language. Before there used to be trigger language. These maps would only go into effect if Texas does, or any other state does, partisan redistricting in their states. They actually stripped that out of the bill 10 minutes before voting on it. And
no way. They could do that?
They can do that because they have the supermajority in Sacramento. And that is what I am telling people, that why, if they believe that this was the right thing to do, why do they have to lie on the impact report, on the ballot title, on what this legislation actually does? I mean, it says temporarily pauses the Independent Redistricting Commission and preserves it. In government, nothing is temporary. The governor was against the Independent Redistricting Commission for a long time. The legislature was against the Independent Redistricting for a long time. It was the people of California back in 2010 that said, we want the people to choose the seats, not the politicians to choose the seats. And this is a vehicle, and what they are using the administration and the federal administration for is for their end goal to systematically dismantle our gold standard Independent Redistricting Committee.
Wow. So, because it's the only thing on the ballot, you're kind of worried a lot of people might not vote for this. And what's the process going to be like? We have to go there, and there's mail-in, there's both, right, for this? So what do we got to do? How do we get the word out, David?
Well, again, more than likely, they'll have it in their inbox by October 6th. And again,
we just have to be.
It is not good enough to simply just not vote on it. You have to vote no on it. And that's where the percentages are coming. This type of election, a special election that nobody's thinking about, is all about turnout. And we're just, again, if you do think that the people who gave you highest poverty, highest unaffordability, highest utility costs should be rewarded for it, then you're probably going to support it. I just don't think that they've earned that type of support.
So we got to vote, regardless of. Make sure you go out and vote on that one bill. That's really important. Okay, I do want to talk about the bill that you passed. I think this is really cool. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I actually passed an accountability bill when it comes to high-speed rail. High-speed rail, in my opinion, is stealing from the California taxpayers. We were able to uncover almost $800 million paid in a clause called non-execution of contract. And what that means is that if we don't have the entitlements, if we don't have the permitting, if we don't have utilities kind of involved with us, and if we can't move the easements, and it's already been contracted out, the people working on the project are paid up to $5 million a month for parking their equipment on that property because they're contracted out to do it. $800 million has been paid out on that alone. And what I wanted to really work on was this legislature and the governor and all of them are trying to use high-speed rail as, I mean, I don't even understand how they can brag about it in any other sense. And what I really looked at was, in the real world, if you're 10% cost overrun, you're probably going to have to look for another job soon. If you're 20% over your estimated cost, you're probably not going to find another job in that area soon. If you're 400% over cost estimates, you work for California High-Speed Rail because that's where it exists. And these safeguards, in my opinion, is what's going to make high-speed rail legal or illegal. And it's going to force the state of California to decide to stop this project because it puts high accountability standards within that framework. It's worked with Secretary Duffy, the Transportation Secretary in the federal administration, to, again, this state's going to keep allocating money to it. There's going to be a high bar, and if they don't meet that high bar, high-speed rail becomes illegal, and now we get to go after them.
Wow. And so how did you get that to pass?
I think it's just good legislation.
I love it, but I'm like, there's so much red tape everywhere, and we get so much blowback when we have to vote for the whole Prop 50. How did you get this to like?
Well, it was a double win in my position, the way that I looked at it, and it's either the governor and the legislature were going to say, like, we're trying to fix this and we're going to hold higher standards for it and put it and codify that as law, or they were going to deny accountability. So it kind of put them in the position of, we have to do something, and if you write good legislation, I love to read policy. I am obsessed with it because I do believe policy is what can change people's lives, whether it's for the better or for the worse. It depends on who's making it. And what I wanted to be dedicated was a data-driven policy group. I've got an amazing policy director. I have an amazing capital staff that really focuses. And I have a lot of my district staff as well that gives me the information so that way I can perform my duties to the best of my ability. And it's about being data-driven. If you don't know the data, you're dumb, is a saying I have. And we just knew that either way, it was a win-win situation because we are either going to bring high standards and high accountability because I don't want the Central Valley being left with a modern-day Stonehenge, or they're going to have to deny accountability standards and making sure that we can actually protect the funding that is in place. And we're going to have to reallocate. If they can't meet this standard, this will make high-speed rail illegal. Before, it was just a project. Now they have standards that are codified into state law, and they will either meet it or it's a put up or shut up type of bill. And that's what we're going to be at. I just want to make sure that the Central Valley is not left with a modern-day Stonehenge of concrete pillars and graffiti art.
No, that's very true. I think that's just something you hear about all the time. People are like, when is this going to be done? Because I think everyone was kind of excited about the high-speed road. Initially, a lot of people seemed they didn't really understand. So now that it's become the way it is, I think everybody has questions.
Well, I will say I did not vote on high-speed rail back in 2008. I was 12 years old. So that didn't happen for me. So I could tell everybody it's not my fault. But if we inherited this entity, we have to do something because I believe that's my responsibility to the people of California.
I think the concept of it, people were sold on the concept of it, thinking that it was actually feasible to do. You know what I mean? So I think where it is now, because I know a lot of people are like, no, it could have never happened, and I think that everyone's starting to figure that out. So.
Well, we will have high-speed rail in California. It just won't be the California High-Speed Rail project. There's going to be another project that's going to finish from, I believe, Rancho Cucamonga to Vegas. That project will probably be done within the next 2 years, and it's 100% privately funded, and it's 100% private. And it will give us an actual display of what private companies can do compared to what government inefficiency looks like. And I'm just hoping that people are paying attention. And we're going to pull the veil away, and we're going to expose, educate, and put some sunlight on Sacramento and bring back accountability.
Oh, I think that's great. Who doesn't want accountability? Only if you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so now we have some local events and events in Southern California coming up this weekend. Tell us about what's going on this weekend. And I think it's open to everybody. We can all participate if we want to, right? So we'll start with Thursday night. Mm-hmm. Thursday night is...
Yeah, we have Farmland Sky. It's with a group, 511, Mike Harvey and them. And really what it's talking about, it's bringing back appreciation to... basically here in the Central Valley, talking about the things that we love and also engaging with a lot of the people and influential people in the Central Valley, whether it's myself, Steve Hilton, Mike himself, and we're just bringing together a bunch of people who want to have fun and some culture to the community. And if anybody's interested in looking at it, they can find it either online, and then just reach out to more people that are like-minded, that want to, again, be involved, but also have a good time being involved, making sure that you're protecting the values of the community, talking to stakeholders like myself, who I want to make myself available to the community more often.
And these guys are all great. I saw the lineup. Everyone's good about talking. Like, you could go and ask. Yep. You guys always take questions. People just come up to you guys, and you guys are all great about that.
It's a lot more of a networking event.
Right.
I mean, it's probably the easiest way to describe it. It's a networking event at Fort Washington on Thursday.
But it is a fundraiser. What are we raising money for?
They're raising money for the 511.
The 511.
Yep. And so it's again, their entire goal is about promoting just Central Valley values, and whether it's appreciating our farmland, whether it's appreciating the community members that are here, and connecting people again through the networking side. You're going to get business owners, you'll get elected leaders, you'll get potentially elected leaders as well,
right? All
together in the same room for a fun event.
Well, we like to have fun in the Central Valley. Okay, and then this weekend, explain the Young Republicans event on Friday and Saturday, which is just a 2-day conference, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the California Young Republican group is really just getting together, and they're kicking off one of the first conventions I think they've ever had as an independent convention. What we've seen really happen over these last few weeks is that people are getting active again. I think about it every day. I have never stopped thinking about what happened to Charlie, that he was on a college campus and his only weapon was a microphone, and he was silenced because he was effective. And what we are seeing is that people just want to be involved, and we're giving that type of option. And so there's a Young Republican convention again in Thousand Oaks area. It's going to be at the Reagan Library as well. So that way, if there's a lot of people that are interested in getting involved, they can go there. They can check it out. I will be there. I'll be there Friday. I will also be talking about Prop 50 on Saturday morning. And I'll just be addressing a lot of the younger individuals that have never really been involved, want to learn how to be involved. I am the youngest elected in the state of California, but I've also been involved at the ground level. And people want to know, what can I do, whether it's making sure that I'm paying attention to the legislation. I mean, we saw a bill earlier this year that was going to systematically dismantle our charter schools. And people were really angry about that. And they wanted to know, well, why am I just hearing about AB 84 right now? They want to be involved. We've had just this recent bill, AB 495, which will expand access to an individual's child and give parental rights to basically your third cousin. And it calls it the 5th degree of kinship. But you don't have to go to a court to get that assigned, and you don't have to have it signed off by essentially anybody. And we think that that's extremely dangerous. But those bills are coming out of Sacramento, and they're fairly crazy. I mean, I think about the largest fight that we had in this state was AB 379, and it was a bill to simply make child sex trafficking and soliciting a minor for sex a harsher felony, equivalent to arson, robbery, and burglary. And the majority here, the leadership in this state, killed that bill. And we had to come up with this huge public pressure campaign and start putting people to notice. Like, this is insanity. They had to revive that bill, brought it back, and then created all these amendments, which is unfortunate because technically 16 and 17-year-olds can still be trafficked as long as it's within a 3-year window, which I don't think there should be any exemptions to that type of ordeal. And that's very personal to me because I have a family member that was trafficked. And you know, we had to fight on that. And so what the convention is this weekend is really just making sure that if you want something else in the state of California, if you want to be involved, you don't have to be an elected. We need people who just want to be informed. We need people who want to fight for their future. It's the main reason why I decided to run. And we just want to give people an option to, again, be with others that are looking for a different route and a different angle for California.
And I want to point out that you did so much before you were an elected official. You were like essentially nobody, and you made so much happen. So I think you're a great voice to show what you can do, just being a voice, just being a person that doesn't have any title.
Well, I appreciate that. My life has been completely changed because of this community here. I have so many people that should have never even taken a chance on me, and they gave me a shot. I mean, less than 10 years ago, I was homeless. Just bouncing around, sitting on my teammate's couch, and they took me in. They fed me. I mean, I have a roommate that he bought me tacos from Jack in the Box, and it was the first time I ate solid food in 3 weeks while I was really going through this really hard period. And that's mainly because I grew up in low-income housing. My mother was an immigrant from the island of Tonga. My father was a Navy guy. We've all heard those jokes out there that the Navy guy finds an island girl and has a secret family. The punchline to that joke is David Tangipa. And I had the chance to go play football at Fresno State to get away. And this place just has changed and transformed my life to where, again, I've been able to sponsor my mother, her immigration, so she can say she's a legal resident. I've been able to take care of my family. I've been able to start my real estate business to help people that grew up in the same conditions I did actually break generational poverty through home ownership. And it's all because this community decided to buy into me. I do this because it's my turn to give back to those people who changed my life. I will run around everywhere and anywhere. I will fight for these people as much as I can. I've got a 2-year-old truck, and I just broke 95,000 miles on that truck.
I'm not surprised one bit.
So, but it makes it fun.
That's awesome. And everyone needs to follow you. You do a great job of keeping us informed. Nice, short, sweet videos. Where do we follow you at?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy last name to find. If they just go...
All the platforms.
Tangipa is my last name, but Tang IPA is the easiest way to spell it. I do have a campaign beer. I always say, well, you might not be able to say my last name, but you could at least drink it. But just David Tangipa. They can find me either at Assemblyman Tangipa as well, but also I always recommend anybody go on my website. And then we do newsletters, we do updates every day. I like to talk about legislation. I prefer to talk about legislation.
I love it because you break it down for us, so that's really good. If you don't like to read everything, you said you love policy, we all like knowing about it, but we don't like reading it. So I love how you break it down for us.
Well, if I'm the political junkie, I just try to make it easy in like a minute. So, because we've got lives. Right. Politics was never supposed to be this much into our lives. You know, the Founding Fathers started as a Tuesday horse ride into town, and now politics is breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
Let's get back to the Tuesday horse ride, and that's what I want to get to. Smaller government, empower the locals. Let's have some fun, because I haven't even been able to watch a Bulldog game this year. And as a former Fresno State Bulldog, that breaks my heart, and I want to get back to that.
Well, we'll try to help you get back to that. We'll all do our part in the community. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Of course.
Love being home.
Chef Darren, what did you make me today?
Today I brought you a creamy mushroom chicken. It's one of my many dishes that I use for my meal preps for my clients.
I say this all. One day when they invent where you can smell through the TV, that'll be like a great invention because.
I know. I always say that all the time too.
Oh my God, I love mushrooms. This is so good. Okay, so is this supposed to be low calorie? What's about the calories in this?
So those calories, I would say it's about 450. Not too low, but it's there.
I mean, that's pretty low.
If you sub out, I can always sub out the rice for veggies too if you want a lower calorie meal. But I'm all around. I can do.
Oh my gosh, how do you get it to taste so good and be so like low calorie? That's crazy. This is like the best thing ever. I feel bad that people can't eat it. This is really good. So, oh my gosh. And you'll make it for the whole week, different ones. Like I see you make amazing meal prep. So tell us a little bit about that. Okay, I'm not gonna eat the whole time, but you guys had to like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you had to see. I just do a rotating menu. Dishes like this,
this is
some
amazing.
more cleaner, some more comforted. This is like a wide variety.
Is this an in-betweener? What is this considered?
It's more like in-between.
Because I feel like it's really healthy.
Yeah, it's somewhat healthy, low sodium. I don't use much salt or any salt sometimes.
It's so full of flavor. Oh my gosh.
So I still try to jam-pack the flavors in there with the aromatics and stuff. But yeah, I just have clients and send them my menu.
And you'll deliver?
I'll deliver locally or pick up location. Usually find a place close by them and we'll just drop off the food to them. For a week or a month.
So what's the average meal cost? Or I know it depends how many you get. Kind of, that's a typical.
It usually depends on how much you get. I would say the more you buy,
the cheaper it
gets. But like $10 a meal for a basic.
That'd be average, okay.
Yeah, it'd be average. And then people usually get on average about 14 meals each. Some get 10, some get more than that, but 14 is like average. And then,
So they get it weekly, kind of?
Yeah, weekly. I have a monthly subscription, so they pick up once a week.
That is wild. And we could do can we do like just 5 meals a week if we want to?
Yeah.
Because I travel a lot, so I'm not really here a lot, so
all right,
that's the lowest amount that I could probably go.
Yeah.
It's the highest amount I can go.
The lowest amount I do is like 5.
So that'd be the lowest, your lowest, and like, so there's people that travel a lot, kind of, because when we're eating, like, we have to go to events where we eat. I mean, I think you saw our guests, like that I'm always on the go. So.
Always on the go, yeah.
But it's perfect for when we're here. I mean, it's just like, I love that. I think everybody's looking for that. So so you'll do, whether it's healthy or it's a comfort food, what got you into this?
So I just started cooking. It was about 2018. I applied for like a internship at Disney World, and I got accepted. And it was I'd never been out of the state before. I'm from Fresno, and I've always been in Fresno my whole life. Barely traveled like close around, but that was a big step for me. So I did that just to further my career. And once I went out there, I learned that I knew that I could do this for a living. Just came back home, started my business, and found clients by word of mouth, and just started meal prepping for people like around my local gyms and stuff.
So what did you learn cooking at Disney World?
I learned a lot. Different cuisines, international spices.
Stuff that you've never heard of, and spices you've never tasted, and how cool. What a great, I'm so glad you accepted, like what a great crash course, and all of that. So had you gone to culinary school? It was just...
prior to that, I was in culinary school here in Clovis.
Did you drop out to go there?
No, I completed there, IOT, did my externship at Disney World. Yeah, most people do the externship locally, but I found the program, so I went out there to Orlando.
That is so smart.
Yeah, I lived out there for a while, met a lot of cool people. I have friends from all over the world now, learned a lot of the cuisines, and I found my passion for cooking there. Culinary school, I just was testing the waters to see if I can really do it.
So you feel like this really made you the cook that you are? Like culinary school is like,
Culinary school is like whatever, like, let's see if I really want to do this. And then Disney World was like a whole new world. I saw that cooking could take me places. I saw that I can travel, make a living, and make people happy with the good meals too. So that's the most
love your
important
accidental pun. It was a whole new world, and you had to do a Disney-like song.
That just came out naturally.
I know. I was like, that was pretty funny. But no, I mean, and I love that you did that. It's kind of like what I've done in life. Is like I love people that leave the valley to go learn some skills and come back and utilize them. And me and a lot of people have done that. So I love that you did that. I think it's so great to do that because you brought back what you wish people had brought to you when you were living here.
Right. Yeah, and prior to cooking, I really didn't have any direction. I did pray about it. I'm really heavy in my faith, so when I prayed about it, God told me to start cooking. But at that time, I did not know how to really cook, or I didn't know I knew how to cook. And I got a job at Sequoia National Park to be a line cook, and that was my first ever professional cooking. And I was at Sauté Station, and it was really hard. It was really hard, and then once I found a supervisor there, he became my mentor.
So was that after Disney World?
No, this was before.
Okay. So you weren't sure if you wanted to do it at that point. Okay.
Yeah, so at this point, I wasn't sure. I just did it because I needed like immediate housing, and they gave me a place to stay, and I needed a job, so it was a job. So I got to live there. So that was a cool experience, living in the mountains in Sequoia National Park and being a sauté cook. And then one of my mentors there just told me, cook with confidence, man, and you got this. So every day I went on the line, and I did my best every day, finished it, and then once I finished that season, I was like, hey, this is fun. I think I can do this. That's when I went to culinary school. Did that.
Oh, so you did that before culinary school.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So from the mountain,
now I get it.
Yeah, once I got down from the mountain, then I was all hyped up, went to culinary school, but I still wasn't sure if I wanted to do this for reals.
Well, I've always heard that it was the most stressful job to be a chef. I've always heard that.
Yeah, it was.
So now you can verify that is.
Yeah, it's really stressful. Even,
Is it the
even from the
timing?
line cook, coming from a line cook up to chef, it's just stressful the whole.
Is it really
kitchen.
just the timing of everything?
Yeah, just like pressure of timing, making sure the food comes out right, making sure that you get all the ingredients in correctly and don't skip steps and stuff. So it's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because I think about that one bad meal and then that one bad review and then all this and that. So it's really cool that you kept just going with it. I mean, you have to learn somehow.
Yeah, so I just kept pushing. And when I came back home from Disney World, that's when I started, I found the interest for meal prepping. But I also do caterings too. People come to me for larger events, not just the preps.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do corporate events where I could do up to 20, 25 people.
So you still keep it small, but you'll do
No, I do big too. I do parties, birthday parties, baby showers, and I even done a couple weddings too. So yeah.
Oh my. Okay. So what's your specialty as far as
dish cuisine?
Yeah. What kind? I mean, is it like Cajun or what's the thing that that you like to do?
I would say I lean a lot towards Asian.
Okay.
Asian sauces, Asian cuisine.
I know you can do everything. I know you're collecting. I just want to know what your specialty was.
Yeah, I would say that would be my specialty. I don't really have a one special dish.
What's your least favorite thing to make? I know there's got to be something.
I want to say, my least favorite thing would probably be something simple like a pasta dish. Just really simple with Alfredo and chicken because it's just so easy. I like to challenge myself, so I like to think outside the box.
Oh, is there something that's really hard that you don't like?
Really hard? No, actually I like the challenge. So the more steps and the more complex the meal is, and then if I can get it really good, then yeah.
Have people asked you for anything outside of your range?
Outside
where you were
of my comfort zone or my range?
where you were like, what is that?
Let's see. No, everything that I usually get orders is usually on my menu. So,
okay.
Yeah, so they order off that. I never got any weird requests.
Well, I would think with some of the bigger caterings or something that's where it gets a little bit where they're going to do their own thing and they're not going to look at your menu. They're I want this and that. Can you do it?
Yeah. Well, not yet. No weird requests yet, but I'm down for a challenge. I'm always down to take on a challenge and try something new. But yeah.
What's one of your best dishes that you're known for? Or it's this is a man where you get this from.
Okay, it's not food, but I want to say my sweet potato pie. That's
good.
So that's one thing that I pretty much got down. Yeah, it took a lot of practice, but I can get that down every holiday season. All my family, they always attack me for it, and I really don't even get a slice when I'm done baking them. Yeah.
That is funny. Oh my gosh. Wow. So you've only been doing this for about 10 years then?
Yeah, I would say about 9-10 years. Yeah, before that I wasn't cooking at all. I wasn't even thinking about it.
What were you going to do before you got into this?
I really didn't have any direction. I was just doing random jobs and not really a set career and a set direction. So that's why I said that prayer one day, and God told me just cook. And that was 10 years ago, around there. And then now here I am.
Who taught you to cook?
No one really taught me.
Was your mom a good cook? Was there good cooks in the family or not really?
My dad is a really good cook. He didn't really teach me. I didn't live in the house with him, But every time like I was around him, he made really good food. His mom was a good cook too, so I think it was just in the family. But I didn't really learn under them or like watch them. I guess it's just in my blood.
And how did you learn how to cook all this healthy stuff with low calorie? That's what I love. I mean, this is so full of flavor. Oh my gosh.
I got challenged because during COVID, and a lot of people were like health conscious, and so I just like picked up what a need was and just studied. I had to learn how to do macros, so I taught myself how to calculate macros for specific people.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to consider. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. It is. It's a lot, and especially to think about what people put in their body if they're really training for. Like I work with a lot of athletes or bodybuilders, so they really watch what they put into their body. So it's just up to me to make sure that they have the right stuff.
So did you start doing a lot of stuff? I know there's a lot of trial and error you did. Did you start doing like your own diets and like, let me see how this works for me?
For myself, I started to in the beginning, but I really don't even cook for myself anymore.
I've always heard this too with the chef, so I understand that.
At first, when I first started meal prepping, I did try it for myself.
Because you have to. Yeah, you have to be your own guinea pig.
Mm-hmm. And then once I started picking up and I started getting more clients, like I just got it down, and I get feedback from them, and just make adjustments off that.
So who do you partner with when you do some of these larger catering events? You must have like a sushi, your own little like sous chef for some of the larger things.
Oh, for like a crew? I usually call my cousin. He also has a catering company.
Oh, so cool. Okay, so it does run a little bit in the family. I see.
So we just collab. Like if I have a bigger, like over 50 or something, I need extra hands, then I'll just call up on him. But for the most part, it's really just me.
Right.
And I'm like a one-man show. I see in the near future, I'll probably get like a little help, hire on like an official sous chef or just like a little crew to help me out once I get larger. But right now, I've been able to handle the load, but it's getting bigger and bigger.
I know.
So
I mean, and it looks so amazing that I'm like, oh my goodness, wow. And so, what about baked goods? What's your specialty on that?
Besides the pies,
the sweet potato pie,
I do like to make a banana bread. So I
love banana bread. I'm so glad you didn't tell me that before, because that's the last thing I need in my life. But I love banana bread.
Yeah, that's something. Something I want to learn how to make is a zucchini bread.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like my grandma's favorite, and she recently passed away, so I want to make it just to eat it, like just in her honor. I've never tried to make it yet, but that's something that I do.
That is an odd request. You probably don't get requests for that, so you're kind of like,
Yeah, so that's just something like personal for myself. Yeah. Other than that, I have a lot of fun baking the pies. Yeah, all kinds of types of pies.
What's the weirdest pie you ever made?
I would say not too weird, but like the berry pie is like, it's not kind of weird, but to me it's like kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of funky to me. Well, it's just like berry filling and strawberries.
My grandma makes the best raisin pie. Have you ever made that?
I never made that.
So that's kind of weird, but it's like amazing. So yeah, I would think that. But that kind of goes along. Yeah, you get these weird fruits. So
what's like a rhubarb too?
Yeah, so it'd be like weird pie. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got a request for that, and I did make that strawberry rhubarb. It came out good.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. You're just amazing.
That was my first time actually like hearing about rhubarb and like learning how to cook with it in the pie. And I'm
Where do you even find rhubarb? I feel so dumb right now that I don't know that.
They're out there like in the produce section. I found it in a farmer's market.
Because that's not really a California, we don't really grow that here. That's why I'm like, where do we really find that?
You might have to go to like an international market and find it. I found it at a farmer's market, so it was randomly in there, so that was good.
Right on. You are amazing. Okay, so where do we follow you and where do we order from?
So you can find me on Facebook or Instagram.
You're just Chef Darren, and you just pop up.
Chef Darren. I'll pop up. Catered by Chef Darren on Instagram.
I don't know. I think I want to unfollow you. I can't look at good food every day, though. I don't know.
Yeah. It will get tempting if you follow me, though, because I do post a lot of my cooking behind the scenes and a lot of my meals. So be prepared to be like mouth-watering. I
know you're great at responding on social media. Do you have a number or anything you want to throw out there for people to reach you?
For bigger caterings, too. I do parties, weddings, and any event, really. Nothing's too big or nothing's too small for me. You can find me at 559-581-0122. and shoot me a text, give me a call. I'm always good to respond. If I don't get it right then and there, I'll reach back out to you.
Have you thought about opening up your own restaurant?
Oh yeah, in the future, like I do see myself in a restaurant, but right now, I'm good. I have like
I mean, right now I was like, oh my
keep
goodness.
myself busy, and I also do help out different companies like around the valley, meal prep companies, and I just help them out with their menu and their stuff too. They reach out to me, so I'm getting into consulting a little bit too, just based off my work ethic. I never really promoted myself as that, but I got picked up for a couple of companies to help them out.
Well, because you've been doing it and trial and error, and like you said, you were like thriving during COVID.
So I see myself opening up a food truck. I want to say within the middle of next year.
Right on. So what's the furthest you're willing to go? What's the range? Or
Like
really, if people come to you, I guess it doesn't.
Well, I travel as far as like up and down California. I haven't did really anything out of state unless I was living there.
Well, I was saying like when people want something or like a large order or whatever,
Okay.
you're willing to go to like Hanford? Like what's, okay.
Yeah, I'll go to
So
Hanford,
keep it in
LA.
the valley. It's LA. You're not going to go to LA?
Yeah, I'm down to go LA, Bay Area.
What kind of order do they have to do for that?
It would probably be like a party or like
Has to be a catering
wedding.
event, yeah, it was like-
it has to be worth it for it to cover like the travel and everything. But I will like travel all up and down California. I mostly just cater to the valley right now because it's easier range and that's where my clientele's at. But I do want to reach out outside that.
So what's your ethnicity?
I'm half African American and half Mexican.
Okay, so are you good at like your cultural foods? I'm sure people ask you that a lot.
I'm starting to cook more like Hispanic foods, but like my family's not really traditional Hispanic, so I didn't really like initially like go straight to that. And like soul food dishes, I'm actually pretty good at that. I just
So you are trying to like incorporate all that stuff.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like I haven't really put out to the public yet. Like I cook it at home or cook for my family and stuff.
Well, I love soul food.
Yeah.
It's hard to find like some good soul food out here. So
I
need
just don't want to be
try
kept in a box. I kind of boxed myself in the meal preps, but it was a good thing because it like takes off for me. But I do want to incorporate, start throwing new dishes in there. So yeah.
I'll be your guinea pig.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much for coming, Jared. I wanted you in for a long time. Your food's amazing, and I can't wait to see all you do. Come back when you get a food truck, and we'll promote that.
Yeah,
We'll have a party with it somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Yes, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear. Don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do. And there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't want to be just friends. Knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.